Hello, and welcome to Life Clarifications with Natasha. I am a medium, psychic medium who loves to help people go through life and manage life and how to be in life. As a lot of us carry a lot of weight from our past, moving it forward, and I love to help people go through so that they can be better themselves. And with me being a psychic medium, and I call myself a personal awareness life coach because the fact that I like to bring personal awarenesses in. So I do private sessions and I love to do the hello on Instagram. And I am live here in a couple different places. So I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and also on Instagram on my phone. So with that as I go through life and managing life, that all those things are coming forth in being where we're at. And I want you to know that in my private sessions, I love to give grace for people. So I do this without judgment. And we're all in the midst of going through something in life right now. And I want you to know that many of us are embarking on finding our intuitive self, or there's things that are coming up that really trigger us and make us feel like we don't know what's really going on in life. And so that's where the conversation was going to be today, about how do we listen to the universe and how are they helping us? Because of the fact um, that as we're going through life and moving through life, and thank you very much on Instagram. I appreciate that so much. Um, I am very much grateful for all that you said. That when we're going through life and managing our life, that many a times we struggle with why do things happening to us? So, well, sometimes they're not happening to us, they're happening for us. And we usually have a hard time, many a times, learning how to trust in something other than ourselves. Well, many a times when we're trusting in something greater than ourselves, that we do find a wisdom that comes. And the universe talks to us, and I'm going to call it the universe of love, because the fact that I believe in many different things. I believe in many different aspects of life. And when we're going through life, that sometimes it's not a straight path in what we're believing in. Now, if you look around me in my room, you can kind of see it more on my YouTube channel, that I have a corner here that is based on with more than Native American base, and that's my helpful people corner. So I believe in a lot of what the Mother Earth wants to tell us and show us. And so I do a lot of the animal work that I do. And so to me, animals tell me a lot of how the universe is speaking through me. And I also have a belief system in Mother Mary and Jesus, and not necessarily in being Catholic, even though that's some of my background, but it taught me a lot of the basics. But but for me, Mother Mary is mother. She is one that just helps in doing the work with me. And Jesus is just a gentleman who was her son, who gives love and grace. And as we work through, I believe in fairies. I believe in a lot of different aspects of life, right? And Shiva and all the different aspects of like I have Ganesh that's on my phone because I know that he helps me work through some of my old habits. And my phone is part of that habit that I need to work through. I do a lot of business on my phone, but then I start dancing a little bit with my games. So I like to have him help me work through things. So I work with a lot of different deities and energies, and I believe in the elements: fire, water, air, earth. All those different things. And I even have rocks. My rocks, they're my good friends too. So it's like I people think I'm kind of crazy because I have a lot of friends, but they're not all just two-leggers, right? So today I wanted to give the aspect of how does the universe really work with us? And I had something that kind of came up the other day, and right now we're in Mercury in retrograde, which means that Mercury is here to help us find some other answers, right? And as we're working in life and going forward in life, managing what we're doing, that a lot of times we forget that the planets around us, you know, Mercury, Saturn, Pluto, the sun, the moon, we have these different aspects that interact with us that can trigger us also into having difficulties. Well, I'm going to give an example of how the universe speaks to us through interactions. So I am having to go on a trip soon, and I was trying to get from point A to point B. Well, I was buying a plane ticket, and that worked out well. It worked out well. One of the ones that I wanted to get, it didn't go through, and so I went through another one, which was actually better timing and everything like that, even though it was a little bit more money than I wanted to spend. But it was something that worked well. Well, I got that we were supposed to go during those dates because everything worked smoother than not, right? And knowing Mercury in retrograde, that I have an understanding that that's usually how technology doesn't want to work quite right. Things kind of have more upsets. Uh, Communication has upsets, and that kind of thing, right? And so when we're going through a lot of different scenarios with Mercury retrograde, we get to where life happens for us, right? Well, as I was trying to find a hotel back where I was going to go, it didn't go through, and it didn't go through, and it didn't go through. And I'm like going, what is going on? And I just finally said, I'm done with it. I'm freaking done with it. Well, my mother-in-law wonderfully texted me the other day and said, "You know what? I have a place for you to stay." That's why it didn't go through, right? That's why I couldn't get a hotel room, because she had a place for us to stay. Wow. The universe was actually stepping in when the logistics of me getting a hotel room for the four of us, that it didn't work out, because that's how the universe was saying, we have another plan for you, my dear. And that's part of the dance. So with that going forward and doing our life and managing our life, that a lot of times the universe will speak through things not going right for us because of the fact that they have different plans and better plans for us. And I know for me that this one place that we're going to be able to go is that will actually be on the beach. We didn't get the chance to be on the beach when we went down at Christmas time. And so with that it's going to actually be more of a blessing in my pre knowings of what's happening, right? Because we will have a hope that things are going to work out. I won't really know what the universe is wanting to say to us until we're done. Okay. But yet at the same time, though, many a times if we roll with what's happening, we get to a bigger picture of what the universe is trying to do for us. And I'll give you another example that, if my car doesn't start and it doesn't want to start and it doesn't want to start, sometimes I'll get frustrated, yeah, because I have to be somewhere. But yet at the same time, I have to kind of go back and say, okay, what's truly going on here? What's truly going on here? Am I supposed to be where I'm supposed to be at that time? Probably not, because maybe there was a car wreck that I would have been in, but since I wasn't in that time frame, then I was not necessarily in that car wreck, right? Well, people end up getting frustrated because things don't work out the way that they wanted to, but yet who has a bigger image of what's really supposed to be happening? The universe of love, I call it. And that's where we have the helpers, Jesus, Mother Mary, the archangels, just plain angels. They're not just plain angels, but they're angels, right? And the universe will speak through us through many different scenarios. Like today, where I was at, uh, I interact with some kids in the morning time. Uh, and, it was interesting how there was some starlings that usually have nests underneath this covered area where I was at. And I watch them every year, have their babies, and it's a blessing that they do. But it was interesting how that when a couple kids ran through, that the parents flew out. They flew out because of the fact that they didn't want to bring tension the to the to where their nest was, right? Well, I really got how many of us run when we're in fear. Hmm. So I was observing this story between the animals and the humans and going, the kids were oblivious to what was really happening here because I was the observer. And being the observer, I noticed that the birds actually did something. They went away so that they didn't bring attention to the nest, right? So, how do we do the same thing? How many times do we run when maybe we should just stay still and quiet because there would have been no attention, right? If those birds would have not moved, there would have been no attention to those nests, right? So sometimes when we stay calmer, we'll have a calmness to us that many a times we don't get into the interaction of what's happening around us. Just like right now, outside my window, I have my dog that's barking, right? Because the neighbor is doing something with her dog. And so my dog wants to be a part of that dance. And so they're having a conversation. Well, do I need to get involved with that? No, because I'm involved with having the conversation with my show today, right? So doing the work with life, many times we have to make choices. How do we work with the universe around us? And if we can work more interactionarily, then we do get benefits from that. Kind of like the fact that I could have been really upset that I couldn't got in a hotel, right? Well, I'm kind of glad I didn't because something better came along for the ride. Something better came along for the ride. And being upset doesn't always work because of the fact that a lot of times we get something better than what we thought we would. So believing in that the universe is truly out there for us, not to us, but for us. And when we're working through life and managing our life and being in our life, how many of us actually notice what's around us? I can tell you right now that the animals are really, really engaging with us. That's why, if you look at on my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, if you look on the picture that I chose to give a definition for the show is the backside of my dog. Because usually when she wants something from me, she'll turn and sit with her back to me because she knows that if she puts her lap on me, she usually zings me with energy. And so I don't allow her put her chin on my lap unless we're in a mutual agreement to pet. But if she wants something from me, she usually puts her head a little heavier and pushier, and she gets pushier. So I don't allow that. So she turns her back and sits. And then once in a while, she'll look around at me, because she wants something from me. Well, our animals around us are very much the communication that the universe of love wants to give us, right? And many of us don't take credit or don't acknowledge, that's the word I was looking for, don't acknowledge that things are happening. How many of us have actually had a hawk or a crow or some kind of bird come and swoop in front of our car? Me, I get it all the time, right? Or they're sitting on the power lines right next to me driving. Well, different animals mean different things, right? So let's say a crow. A crow kind of comes down and swoops in front of me. And that's a message for me. That's the crows are saying something about how um, there's dark magic. Also, crows are one of the smartest birds out there. They'll figure out how to get things. And so it's also telling me to use my smarts in my life. Also, crows are great communicators. They're nest robbers. So how am I supposed to look at my shadow, and how am I doing some work that is not necessarily in benefit of all around me? So there's different messages for different animals. Now, this is where sometimes if I don't have one of my medicine books around, I'll Google, what does crow represent? Or what is the spiritual meaning of crow? And if we can do that, a lot of times we'll find that the universe is actually speaking to us. Because of the fact that there's sometimes when I'm driving down my driveway and here comes a deer that stands right in front of me. Well, if it's a female deer, then that's about walking gently with myself. Because you look at how a deer walks in nature, right? It usually walks pretty calmly and it has its knowing. And so with a deer, that it's telling me to be calm and be willing to trust my instincts. It's also telling me that if I need to run in fear and flight, to do it, but do it with wisdom. Because sometimes life around us isn't necessarily going to be a balance of everything working for us. It's also sometimes we're trusting the nature around us, right? And sometimes the elements are here for us too. Because of the fact that the elementals, so I'll tell you, like, if a lot of times our house, if we have problems with our plumbing, we get a water issues in the house, right? A pipe burst or something like that. Well, usually, when we're talking about water, represents emotions. And so, how are we struggling with our emotions in our house? How are we struggling with letting go of emotions, or are we holding it on and hurting our bodies, right? How are we doing life in that general sense? And the body actually has different reasons for hurting too, because of the fact that if, let's say, it's our right knee, well, knees are about our flexibility, about moving forward too, walking forward. And if it's our right knee, it's about are we releasing enough of our energy to be able to walk forward? Are we releasing a lot of our past belief systems in ourselves so that we can move forward? And it's also, I think it's our masculine side. So are we being too heavy in our life? Are we being too heavy in our life? So going through life and managing our life, the universe around us speaks very boldly to us. It's about listening. It's about listening. And when we can listen to do better, then it gives us a chance to really hear how to do life in more of a graceful way. Because I can tell you that example of not having, me not having a hotel that goes through, it didn't feel right in the first place. There was something that didn't feel right in the first place. And I know I'm intuitive. I'm a psychic medium. I do get it. But there's sometimes where I get caught up in my own life too. And I don't listen as cleanly as I should. But there was something that didn't feel right. So that's where instead of trying to get another room, trying to do this and trying to do that, I just said, I'm done because something in me said done. Something in me said done. And I listened to it. And if we can listen to those feelings, listen to those emotions, listen to a lot of that interactions, many times we can find that the world around us will run smoother. And going forward is not easy. I know. Life is not easy. And then when it keeps feeling it's doing something to us, a lot of times it's not easier, you know? So believing in life that it's here to help us. So when things don't work quite right, check in. Is it the right time to do it? Is it the right time to do it? Because I can tell you, I need to rent a car, and I'm hearing, gotta wait a couple days. Gotta wait a couple days. I got time, so I'm gonna wait a couple days. And then when I feel like it's the right time, then I'll get online and I'll check it out. Because the fact that going forward is not something that happens in our timing, a lot of times it's in the timing of the world around us. And believing in that. So next time you have a squirrel that runs in front of you, think about it a little differently, right? Squirrel. Well, balance of work and play. The balance about how, especially when you see them with nuts, gathering nuts and gathering their winter meals, that some it's about gathering. It's time to gather our life, time to gather the things around us, time to gather what's going on with our life. Sometimes it's about saving money. But remember that squirrel is also about work and play. So am I always serious about my life, or am I choosing to have a little bit more fun? Maybe put on music, dance, maybe put on a little bit of energy with hanging out with some friends. Because after 12 hours days, sometimes we want to go have maybe a beer and have a good time. I don't drink. That's not part of my game. But yet at the same time, though, sometimes I'd like to go hang out with friends. They can do the drinking. I'll do the safe driving home. Going forward is not something that when we have blinders on, many times life works out for people who have blinders. I don't know how, but yet at the same time, though, knowing these feelings of things happening and trusting the process and that the universe is really here for us. Have you ever driven down the road and all of a sudden there's a truck in front of you? I know one time I was taking a class and we were talking about buffalo. We were talking about how buffalo. And then here I'm driving home in a sleet kind of rain. It was wintertime and it was just coming down. And I was driving home with a couple of friends who went to the class with me. And here's a truck. And it was the buffalo haulers. I think it's called the bison hauler. I think it's called bison. And it had a big buffalo on the side of its trailer, right? Well, buffalo represents standing strong, right? They have great fur, they have great stamina. So stand in our power. Let the storm blow around us, but stand in our power. And so with me, I had to trust that no matter where I was at driving, that I had to stand, I had to believe that I had it, right? Even though it was lots of water on the road, but believe that I had it. I have the ability to go. And so if we listen to the animals, even if they're on trucks or billboards, they are still coming to you to give you messages. So believing in that moment of how is the universe talking with me? Knowing that we're all going to be where we're going to be. And, many of us are really starting to believe there's something greater out there than us, right? And if we can believe in something greater than us, many times we can move forward with, oh, you know what? That doesn't quite feel right. Like I get a feeling sometimes when something doesn't feel right. Sometimes it's a heavy feeling. Sometimes it's kind of like almost an upset tummy feeling when something doesn't feel quite right. Or I feel like I'm kind of like almost achy in the head sometimes when things don't feel right. And it's okay if you have these knowings in you. It's not always a woman's intuition, right? A lot of times it's a universal feeling of the body. And when we can feel like, okay, I got this, but yet it doesn't quite feel right. I believe that. And I would believe in that. Like right now, my car needs a little bit of work done, and I'm feeling like, before I drive a long ways in it, I kind of got a feeling that I need to go get it worked on. So with that, as we go forward in life and as we're managing life, that things come to us that feel right or don't feel right, and believe it. If something keeps telling you in your head, go get my car worked on, go get the brakes done, look at the brakes, go get the brakes looked at, go get the brakes looked at. Well, a lot of times if you can believe that, go get it checked out. A lot of times we don't need to get it worked on, but we can go get them checked out to make sure things are right. May cost a little bit dollars. And then if we find out we need brakes, then we can say, okay, I'll put that in the budget and save for it, right? Because I don't know for you, but prices right now are kind of out on the out on a limb, and it's getting harder and harder to do things. So going forward and managing things, that believing in the universe of love, that it's here to help us. Because I can tell you that when things pop in your head, believe that if it's for the better, it will be good language. So believe that. Believe in it. Because one never knows how the universe is going to come to us. Because that can be a billboard. It could actually be a wrong number that calls us, and we answer because we thought it was a friend, right? Turns out to be maybe a telemarketer, but yet we didn't leave the house at the time we were going to. And then we turn around and I would have forgotten my wallet that I took out of out of the area that I normally have it. But having that phone call made us turn around and look and see the wallet that was on the counter. Otherwise, we would have walked out the door. So believe in the mistakes that are happening are for a greater reason a lot of times, so that we can get the righter time for things happening. I do hope this conversation is helping you some way, because the fact that we all I feel like life is right in our way sometimes. Right in our way sometimes. And especially with Mercury in retrograde right now, sometimes it's an interesting thing. So if your internet keeps going out, how are you communicating? How are you communicating? Do you need to think about your email before you send it? Sometimes when I want to do something and I'm trying to get something to go through on my computer and it doesn't go through and doesn't go through, I always usually ask, am I supposed to be doing something else? So I go and do that something else, come back, and it works. And it works because of the fact that I'm in the timing of that other person hearing it better. So when we're going through life and managing our life, work with the world around us. Many times we'll get the benefit of it, right? We'll get the benefit of it. The thing about life, though, is many times we do not have the belief system to believe in how this world really wants to work with us. You're not a fool if you follow those intuitional feelings, right? We've been told as women that women have intuition, but men don't. The heck with that. Believe in what is greater. The things that feel right, because they usually are more right for us. They may not be right for everyone, but they're more right for us. But it's a cleaner feeling. It's a cleaner feeling. Okay? So believing in that. Believing in that there's animals out there for us. Sometimes we walk by a rock that's not necessarily a pretty rock like this, but just an everyday rock, and we pick it up. I know for me, like the other day, I picked up just this everyday rock and I put it in my pocket. And after I felt that, I felt more grounded. I felt more at ease. This little guy kind of gives me a breath. He has that earthly feeling, and so I feel more grounded. Well, There's sometimes when we're walking by something and our eye catches it, and we're supposed to pick it up because it's here to help us. It's here to be with us. It's here to support us in our world. So now with this, that many times there's other um, ways of hearing messages. Like for me, I use oracle cards. Okay. Some people use pendulums. Okay. Like the pendulum. Let me see here. So I can use pretty much anything here. So a pendulum would be where you ask the question of yes or no. Okay. So I'm going to ask, what is your yes? Okay. And it circles around. What is your no? And what is your maybe? You see how I'm asking it, right? And yeah, you may see my hand move just a little bit, but that's pretty much just how the necklace is moving, right? So if I can ask, does Natasha wear glasses? Yes, I do wear glasses. I don't necessarily wear glasses when I do intuitive work, but I wear glasses on a daily day basis. See how when I had that conversation, it started swinging more, right? Does Natasha need to stop eating sugar or as much sugar? And it's still going yes, right? So you can ask different questions. Now remember when you're asking questions, see now it's saying yes, you can ask questions. And a lot of times when we're asking questions, it will give us yes answers. Now, am I making it go faster? No, I'm not. So going forward in life, it will help if you use tools. I like using oracle cards. I usually don't, I have a pendulum, but I just take off my necklace and it usually does what it needs to do, right? Going forward in life. So as I want to work with cards right now, I am going to work with pulling some cards. So if you are watching and you would like a cards, and I will pull cards. And what I do is I usually shuffle the card for you. And you can do this on Instagram too. You can let me know that if you would like cards being read for you, that I will pull a card that is intuitively called to me. But what I'm going to ask of you is that you put the intention out there of what you would like to have. So I'm going to work with the angels. And let's see. I was speaking of animals before. So the animal medicine cards. And then let's see. The path of the soul. And I'll do the path of soul. So just say on Instagram if you would like a card pulled for you. This would be a universal message so that if you want it, so the path of the soul, you can say that one. You can say animal if you'd like an animal card, or you can have angel if you'd like an angel card. And then I just ask you to hold the intention while I shuffle the deck for you. And if you're on any other facet, you can watch me there. If you are watching on Twitter, if you can go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, or my Facebook channel, Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications, then you can make a comment there. I do not get comments on Twitter for some reason. I wish I would, but I have not yet. And I know I have a couple people that sometimes watch me there. So if I don't hear from anybody, then I am going to pull a card for the universal for everyone. And that's the one thing about cards, oracle cards, is that they can be for a lot of different people. And a lot of times, one of us is going through something, and all of us are going through a form of it. So believe in listening to what it is. So right now, since nobody's speaking up, I am gonna shuffle the deck of the animal cards because I feel like the animals would like to. I'm actually gonna be ordering some dragon cards soon too because the dragons really want to speak through me, and I love dragons. So I am putting out the intention for all. This is the universal card for everyone. Universal card for everyone. Unless somebody else wants a card. Card for everyone. Is there an animal out here for them? This message. There we go. This one right here. So this one has no animal on it. So what I am getting intuitively about this message is that the universe will speak through you, for you. And so what you can do is start paying attention to the animals around you. If you go to the beach and you get a seal that comes up to you, look up what a seal represents. If you're going walking through the woods and you have a snake, oh, snake is a wonderful medicine. Snake is wonderful medicine. That going through life and finding snake, and it's about slithering through life, knowing that your instincts, your tongue, also too that snake is about shedding life, shedding your skin, right? I actually the other day on another trip, alligator came to me. Even though he came to me like this, well, at this time I was needing tougher skin. I needed to work with because alligators like to stay in the water and they can stay down underneath the water. Well, how do I swim in the emotions of my life? Remember to interact when opportunity comes, not react. But have a tougher skin. Have a tougher skin. So alligator came to me the other day and helped me doing that work. Okay, so let me see here. There's another card out here that wants to come. A skunk. Skunk. A skunk wanted to come. Isn't that interesting? Skunk. I love skunk. Because skunk is amazing medicine, right? Skunk actually is very secure. They know how to walk. They know how to talk. They know how to defend themselves without really hurting anybody, right? Just creating a lot of smell. So number 7, and I'll read what skunk has here. Number 7. So skunk medicine. 7 here. So I'm pulling cards right now. So if anybody would like cards, hi Carolyn, how are you? If you'd like a card pulled, I'm doing Path of the Soul, and I'm doing Animal, and then I'm also doing Angel. So let's see, skunk. Skunk, tell me the story, so I will know it well, of how to attract and how to repel. Isn't that interesting? Tell me the story, so I will know it well, of how to attract and how to repel. Skunk medicine. Go ahead and laugh. This furry little animal has a reputation that contains a great deal of power. Due to its distinctive behavior, humans give this tiny, smelly creature a wide berth. The key word is respect. Skunk is teaching you that by walking your talk and by respecting yourself, you will create a position of strength and honor repetition. The carriage of your body relates to others what you believe about yourself. There is no need to bully, aggravate, torment, or overpower other beings when you sense of self is intact. As with skunk, the rodent field of energy around your body is relayed through the senses. Self-esteem permeates the body's energy and is instinctively recognized on its extraordinary level by others. Learn to assert without ego. What are you? What you are. Learn to assert without ego what you are. Respect followers. Respect follows. Your self-respectful attitude will repel those who are not like-minded and yet will attract those who choose to be the pathway. As the odor of skunk attracts others of its kind, it repels those who will not respect its space. So it was upside down. So I will read the contrary. Skunk medicine operating through the contrary or reversed position indicates that your self-esteem may seem to others as if you are putting on an air. Observe whether or not you are repelling others in your vicinity because you envy, jealous, or projection of their low self-esteem. Examine your feelings. Be truthful with yourself. Write the situation by assuming the attitude of skunk. Non-callous. In assuming non-callous, you are neutralizing the effect of the leaking energy. In leaking vital energy, you may be stinking up your environment. This is similar to dumping all your woes on anyone who wants to listen. If you are doing this, it may be time to shut your mouth and go within. You may also be leaking energy and repulsing the object of your interest. That person may be too shy to tell you to lay off. Look deeply in yourself in the image and how others are attracted to you. To balance the cause and effect of your actions and energy flows, you must decide whether or not you need to spray in the direction of others to repel their envy, greed, or jealous. On the other hand, you need to always maintain your right to be. Self-respect is a key to all these situations, whereas ego is merely what you believe yourself to be. Skunk says, if your ego is not your amigo, you know it stinks. I love that. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So skunk. I love skunk medicine because it really teaches us how to be responsible for our own energy and the energy of those around us. And it's a great teacher. It's a great teacher that way. So with animal came up with, remember, no animals. So remember to listen to the animals around us and the interaction with animals around us, and they will be talking to you. And then we had skunk. So thank you. Okay, so Carolyn, you wanted, you'd like a card, angel or soul. It's good for me. Okay. So Carolyn, what I'm going to ask you to do is to hold the intention. Okay, so I'm going to do the path of the soul first, and then we'll do angel. Is there anybody on Instagram that would like a card? So what I'm doing is pulling all oracle cards right now. And if you'd like a card, I'm just asking you to hold the intention of what, even if it's just, please, universe, let me know what I need to hear. Okay, here it goes, Carolyn. Thank you. You're like, ooh, that card wanted to pop out. There we go. Ooh, that one's pretty. So you got this one, angel wings. So that's for Carolyn. And if these cards may be one that it sounds right for you too. So number 40. Almost looks like a bunch of angel wings, doesn't it? Egyptian eagle. Egyptian eagle. This is a time to release all the past ideals that no longer serve you. If you have been working, if you've been doing inner work, this card represents its completion and the shift into new. If you are just beginning, this card represents that it is time to begin your inner work. As we make time, as we make these great life shifts, those who were once close seem to drift away. Take time to thank them for their lessons you have shared. Egyptian Eagle offers the higher perspective and viewpoint. Higher perspective and viewpoint. Okay, and then I will do an angel card for you too, if you would like. An angel card. Woo! Well, that one jumped out. Celeste. Oh, I love this one. So, Celeste is a happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. What am I getting? Oh, you know what I'm getting for you, Carolyn, is that this new move is, I want to call it that you are really moving into a new aspect of yourself and the world around you. And the universe is saying, good job. It's saying that you are on the right path. Part of this is the new home. The new home is your body, and it's moving forward that way. So great job doing your inner work, because I know that other card, this one here, so if you put these two together, it's about moving into the new, because I know you've done a lot of work, and so now you're in that benefit. So when we're in the benefit of going through that movement of work that we've done, what eagle has, the Egyptian eagle, that when we are finally there, we kind of go into that, okay, I'm here. I'm in fifth gear now. I can move forward and I can do that. And that gives us the movement of where we need to be, the movement where we're going. So I hope that helps you out, Carolyn. Thank you for being here with me. So with that, so as we work in life and go forward in life, there is many of us that are really starting to trust our inner voices, and it's time to really believe in it. Because you're very welcome, Carolyn. That as we go forward and as we're doing life, life is trying to show us a lot. Just like the fact that I was trying to get a hotel room for when we're going to be going on our trip, and it didn't go through. And then my mother-in-law called the next day and said, I have a place for you. So sometimes Mercury in retrograde, when things don't work, take a breath, walk away, come back, and it may just work because the right timing is there. Believe in your inner voice. And if you need to have a little help, ask a question or two, because you never know what the answer might be that might help you out. And I can tell you, pendulums and cards aren't always right, but yet they are closer to the answer than what our mind likes to play games with, right? So believe in that. Believe in yourself and believe in the world around you. Because I can sure tell you that the animals right now in our bodies are speaking boldly and telling us a lot. And Carolyn, I know you do it all the time. You're really good at it. I've worked with you so many times, and the way that you've just matured and believed in yourself. Great job. It's probably helped you out quite a bit, hasn't it? Because no matter where we're at, believing in the universe of love will bring us somewhere. It will bring us somewhere. So if you're looking for some help, I do private sessions And you can go to Natasha Venter or angelicclarifications.com, and you can make a private session there. I have that on my website. And if you would like to go see some videos and some inspirational quotes, you can watch me on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. Blessings to you on your journey, and I do hope that this was helpful. And I'm going to be, I know somebody just popped onto Facebook here, and I'm grateful that you're here. If you speak up boldly, quickly, I will do another card reading real quick, because I would love to help out with that. So that'd be the path of the soul, the animal, or an angel card. So I do hope that no matter where you're at in your life, that you do not feel alone, because the universal love is all around us, supporting us, giving us strength, giving us wisdom. I am here every Monday. Sorry. Every Monday at 4 o'clock and every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific time to do my show. On Wednesdays, it's on Instagram, because of the fact if I don't have anybody who is a guest, I put it on my phone on Instagram. Blessings to all. And please follow, like, or share if you are in want of helping someone else with this information. Blessings to you. Bye now.